when you get something wrong, you got to be man enough to admit that you got it wrong. I did a video about Gervonta Davis, Canelo Alvarez, Terrence Crawford, Turki, Alshiekh, and Al Haymon. And in that video, I said that Al Haymon outsmarted Turki Alshiekh. I have to say that statement needs to be amended with new information that has come out. So I got to correct the record. It was way worse than I thought it was. Shout out to KO Boxing and shout out to Alan Dawson. KO Boxing for doing an excellent video that pointed me to an article that was written by Alan Dawson on worldboxingnews.net. And the whooping being put out there by Al Haymon in Las Vegas is more complete than I thought it was. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. Let me tell you why I was wrong. I put out a video talking about Gervonta Davis and how Gervonta Davis was getting his money in his next fight and fights after that for to secure a very large amount of money for himself in a guarantee because of the fact that the MGM resorts, let me correct and be clear now that I have more information. MGM resorts that I do believe own the T-Mobile Arena have guaranteed the gate receipts for the fight. That is an extremely, extremely profitable engagement. It's basically saying that MGM is putting up the money for Gervonta Davis fights, putting up the money for Canelo Alvarez fights. That frees up the PBC of having to come up with any money for those big fights. That's a huge bit of competition, huge bit of advantage there. But what I didn't understand, and I didn't see at the time because I had not read the article that had come out after I did my video by World Boxing News, that the whooping is more complete than that. That the UFC, Dana White, who said that there was a guarantee on the gate, didn't tell the whole story. At least that tweet didn't tell me the whole story. In the article itself, Dana White says, I couldn't do the Sphere because I'm under contract to do 3 to 4 shows a year with MGM at the T-Mobile Arena. But because they effed us, F-U-C-K-E-D'd us, they let us do it. What does that mean? What does that mean? Oh, it means that they're under contract. The UFC is under contract to do shows with the MGM Grand. But because the MGM Grand gave the date to Al Haymon for Canelo Alvarez and Berlanga, that Dana White and the UFC had to go somewhere else. They kicked him out and said, go somewhere else. And then Dana White and the UFC have to come back to them when Al Haymon and their fights are not being put on. So let's get this right. Not only did Al Haymon negotiate with MGM for MGM to guaranteed the money that they have for the fights. They also threw the UFC out. Because they said, let me tell you, if you think we are going to take a fight with, what is her name? The female UFC fighter, Shevchenko, something like that. If you think we're going to have a UFC featherweight fight here instead of a Canelo Alvarez fight, and I'm telling you it's going to be the same thing for Gervonta Davis fight, either one of those, nah, I'm sorry, you got to beat it. You got to go somewhere else in Vegas. So, yeah, now I have to say Al Haymon may just run Vegas. There's a guy that comes by the channel that was talking smack. Are you saying that Al Haymon basically runs Vegas? Well, I wasn't at the time that the man said it. Now I'm looking at it like, hey, man, that is a big whammy, dude. If this situation puts Dana White in second fiddle position to Al Haymon, at least as it relates to Al Haymon's big money fights. Canelo, Gervonta, I bet you money, Errol, Terrence, probably, yeah. Al Haymon got a lot of play because I don't even know, do they got musicians that go to the T-Mobile Arena too? Because, you know, Al Haymon got a lot of musicians too. So, and I don't even know what he's doing over there with the music stuff. But seeing as, you know, people like Drake are saying he's getting Al Haymon money. Yeah, dude, he may be having some other events in those areas that he's putting on that gives him even more clout with casinos because it drives gamblers to the casinos. MGM Grand owns casinos as well. So, right, see all that money? Yeah. So I apologize for understating how big a strategic advantage that is and how difficult it's going to make that. Unless Turki Alshiekh is willing to throw a bunch of money at gamblers. You know what I'm saying? If he's just paying the money, he's not bringing in any gamblers if people aren't really interested and he has to give away tickets. It's the people it's the attractions that really draw the people in who are willing to pay, that are also willing to pay for the other things that are going on in Vegas. So, yeah, that's big. And it also relates to Canelo Alvarez now says, hey, man, I'm not totally against the Terrence Crawford fight. Now, guess who is running stuff for sure with Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Crawford if they negotiate for a fight? It's not Turki Alshiekh, it's Al Haymon. Because guess what? Terrence Crawford's purse for the gate would be guaranteed by MGM Grand. So what again do they need Turki Alshiekh for? And Turki Alshiekh can't get him the Canelo Alvarez fight. Only Al can get him the Canelo Alvarez fight. So pretty much, Al is running that. That is what it is. So, hey, man, y'all just better get right and understand, man, intelligence is something. Strategy is something. It's not to be sneezed at. Consistent performance and making money for a lot of people is nothing to be sneezed at. You know what I mean? Al Haymon is not a show on the internet because he dang sure ain't never on it talking. All these other people doing, parading as if they are Saudi princes, like, and working with people that are encouraging the confusion. When you are an employee of the government and work, and the funds come from work from funds in the PIF fund, no different than a bank no more different than a bank giving you money. Now, is that as good as the arena that is going to put on the event saying, don't worry, we'll pay for the whole thing? And if you can sell past what we're at, you can keep the change. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry, we'll guarantee your gate. You can keep anything above that. We don't really care. We just want you here to gamble. That's huge. Yeah, Terrence, you're going to be working with Al, dog, one way or another, man. You ain't going to work your way around that. Anyway, that's what I got to say. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.